entering the town of Twin Peaks.
There was a fish in the percolator.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
You are witnessing a front three-quarter view of two adults sharing a tender moment.
It is happening again.
Take another look, Sonny. It's gonna happen again.
What kind of fantastic trees have you got growing around here?
I'm gonna turn it upside down.
Sheriff, we got a lot to talk about.
Sheriff, we've got a lot to talk about.
We really, really do. I actually was struggling to parse through what I wanted to prioritize talking about because there's so much.
There's a lot of cool stuff that happens in these two episodes, but I do think thematically they go together very well. So
they do.
Even though these were both only 45-minute episodes too,
which is
and
crazy. They felt really long
in a good way.
But yeah.
So if you're new here, this is Welcome to Twin Peaks, Horror at the Hanna's Twin Peaks Rewatch podcast.
Yes, I'm watching the show for the first time, and Matt is on a rewatch, and I'm on currently a journey to figure out who killed Laura Palmer.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. Sad.
So this week we are covering season 2, episodes 2 and season 2, episode 3. So I'll get into this background really quick. I don't have too many fun facts this week, so
okay.
Should be quick.
Give us a quick background, and I have plenty of thoughts to discuss.
So season 2, episode 2 has the name Coma. It was written by Harley Peyton and directed by David Lynch. This is his 4th episode that he's directed in the show so far, and surprisingly, he only has 2 more in the original run of the series.
No.
But then obviously
we get
is
hella
involved,
David Lynch
for both the movie and the return.
Yeah.
But he's still involved with the show. So this one originally aired on October 6, 1990 and was down to 14.4 million viewers compared to the season opener of 19.1. Which, unfortunately, this is what started to lead to the rushing of the season, which ultimately then led to its cancellation at the end of season 2.
That's tough.
Spoilers
Sad.
for that. Yeah. And episode 3 of season 2 was named The Man Behind the Glass. It was written by Robert Engels and directed by Lesli, Linka, Glatter. And it aired October 13th, 1990 to 13.7 million.
Yeah,
down
so
from
drop
13.4.
again.
Yes. I only have a couple fun facts because at this point, all the fun facts I feel like are talked about. You know, we all know about the guy that played Bob is Frank Sylvia and set dresser, all that fun stuff. But 2 interesting things here is Miss Tremond, the woman that is the grandma from Happy Gilmore. Didn't even have to look that up. I just know that. And her grandson, who looks exactly like David Lynch. Remember, we saw him, and I was like, that looks like David Lynch.
Yeah.
That is Austin Jack Lynch, who is David Lynch's son.
Oh.
Which is why he looks exactly like David Lynch.
Yeah, he does look like him.
And they have him dress like him. They do his hair like him. It's very funny.
Yeah. He does look like a mini David Lynch. It's really cute.
Well, there's a reason for it. So, yeah, I was wondering that. I was like, there's no way this kid's not related to him. And let me do quick plot descriptions for both.
Yep.
And as I said before, we're at that point where basically every character gets one sentence.
Yeah.
Which is pretty funny. So for episode 2, Albert reveals that Cooper's former partner, Wyndham Earle, has escaped from a mental hospital. Donna takes Laura's place as the Meals on Wheels volunteer to investigate potential suspects, leading to an eerie encounter with the bedridden Mrs. Tremond and her grandson, who is David Lynch's son. Tremond complains about the presence of cream corn on her plate, and when Donna looks away, the cream corn miraculously appears in her grandson's hands. Ronette awakens from her coma and with horror identifies Bob as her attacker. Andy relays to Lucy that he's infertile and wants to know how she got pregnant. Leland recognizes a wanted poster for Bob as a man who lived near his grandfather's house when he was a child. With Leo in a vegetative state, Bobby schemes for Shelley to continue to care for Leo so that she can collect disability payments and she and Bobby can live together.
Oh,
Bobby's father, Major Garland Briggs, who works for the U.S. Air Force monitoring deep space probes, passes on a mysterious message to Cooper from the probes after being told to by Log Lady's log. And the messages are, the owls are not what they seem, which is something he already heard from the giant, and Cooper, 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 written 3 times in a row. After an impromptu musical performance, Maddie has a horrifying vision of Bob. And that's the end of that episode. I wrote that myself. And so that's the end of episode 2. Episode 3, Cooper discovers a piece of paper bearing the letter B under Ronette's fingernail, matching the R under Laura's and the T under Teresa Banks, the previous victim of the same killer. noting that this would have been added recently because they did not find it initially. Donna meets Harold Smith, an agoraphobic man and one of Laura's Meals on Wheels deliverees. Leland reveals Bob's real name is Robertson, a man who lived near his child's summer house who used to flick matches at him and ask, "You want to play with fire, little boy?" Cooper realizes the letters are an attempt to spell Robertson based on what Leland told him. Blackie drugs Audrey with heroin, we're pretty sure, into comatose state. Jacques' older brother Jean Renault schemes to use her to lure Cooper to One-Eye Jack's to kill him and avenge Jacques. Shelley refuses to testify about Leo's involvement in the mill fire, leading Cooper to suspect her disability scheme. Gerard, selling Truman's shoes, sees the poster of Bob and is overcome with sickness. Realizing James and Maddie are falling for each other, Donna laments at Laura's grave that things are more complicated with her dead. In a trance state, Jacoby identifies Leland as Jacques' killer, leading Truman to arrest Leland. Nadine wakes up from her coma. Donna discovers a secret diary of Laura's hidden at Harold's house. So much happened, and yet none of it felt bloated.
No, it didn't.
So
It definitely doesn't.
Let's talk general thoughts. That's my general thought is we had so much happening these two episodes by two different directors, and yet none of it felt bloated. All of it felt compelling and was moving the show forward and developing a lot of other threads that I'm very interested in.
My biggest takeaway, filmmaking wise from these episodes, is that Lynch once again has some of the most horrific imagery on screen for someone who's not doing an explicit horror. The scene where Bob crawls over the couch at Maddie is horrifying. My chest hurt, my stomach was in knots after that scene, and I was doing some deep breathing.
It's so
horrifying imagery.
Amazing how simple it is too. It's just a shot of a man walking towards a camera, yet Lynch knew it was going. I think juxtaposing it with the whole singing also really helps.
Yes.
But he just has such an eye. I think it's part of him crawling over the couch and then the coffee table. You can't imagine he can get any closer to you, and it feels like you're watching something you shouldn't, and that he's going to come out the screen at you.
It's also that he gets so close that he blacks. He gets so close that he's in the camera. Yeah. At the camera. So you don't
and then
see
Maddie
it anymore.
just starts
it's just
screaming.
Black silhouette. Yeah.
It's awesome. This is a very famous scare, one of the most famous images from the show. And when I've tried to sell people on this show, you've heard me say it before, I was it's this really sad but funny and fun crime drama that then out of nowhere you will have the most horrific thing you've ever seen on cable TV happen to you. And here's a great example of it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But again, if I just showed somebody this scene solo, I don't know if it would scare them. It's everything about the show that leads up to this moment.
Yeah, it's in context of the show that it's so impactful. It's also because Bob is such a mystical, confusing figure to us at this point. We still don't really, we highly suspect he killed Laura from what we've discussed in previous episodes, from what we've revealed. We've literally seen images of him doing it from Ronette's vision sequence. But other than that, we don't really understand who or what he is.
And we've learned now he's not in a single FBI, CIA, or any police database.
And very few people have actually seen him in real life. There's only 4 people
who
have
in Twin Peaks.
seen him.
And all of them are in Twin Peaks.
In Twin Peaks, and only one of them that we know of has seen him in person, legitimately. So because he's such a mystical figure in that regard, I think every time he shows up, it is scarier, because we just don't get what he is. We don't know how legitimate of a threat he is, since we don't know how real of a person he is, I guess.
He is a great evil character.
Yeah.
And it's so funny still that Lynch saw this guy and was that guy looks evil. He's great. Let's make him the epitome of evil in my show.
Have you shared that casting in previous episodes as a fun fact?
Yes.
Okay.
I have.
Just check it.
Don't you worry.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, probably multiple times. So I had general thoughts of Lynch is a master once again. And again, we talked about how slow the first and methodical that first episode was. This one was as well, but it's never boring when Lynch slows things down and lets you sit. He really seemed to care about letting us sit with characters and their feelings and their emotions. And I did want to also shout out that the director of episode 3, I thought did a phenomenal job of character work throughout this one. And I think we saw some of the best performances all around from our actors in this episode. And I just needed to shout out Ed with a amazing, out of the ordinary for him. He's good, but like his reactions to Nadine waking up were phenomenal. Leland had some really amazing moments. That's Ray Wise. Really loved him because he still is like off his rocker, but it's like kind of back and forth between these moments of complete clarity and moments
wild
of
boy.
Yeah. So like him comforting Maddie prior to getting arrested, amazing. Ben Horn had a scene that made my stomach hurt so bad when talking to Cooper about
It's so gross.
yeah about how Audrey's missing and how he basically hates her is kind of how it is coming across.
And then he's kind of like, why do you give a shit about my daughter, basically?
Yeah, and then talks about how
terrifying.
And he's just like smoking the cigar, and there's something
it's
about
the smirk on his face while he's talking about his missing child. And it's also simultaneously that, like, we know that she is being held in this establishment that he operates, but he actually doesn't know that she's there, but also tried to sexually assault her, not knowing it was his daughter. It's like that combination of what we know combined with his performance and his facial expressions that's really terrifying.
Yes. I even think James, who is like a weaker one, had it fine. Oh, fine. And then I know you want to talk about this one later, but Donna, Laura's great.
Yes.
Great.
I have that as a moment that I will be going into later.
We'll talk about that later. But yeah, just wanted to shout that out. And I noticed episode 3, my tummy hurt the entire time of episode 3. I don't know what. 2 is like still Lynch and fun. And I mean, it's dark, but something about 3, I was like really under the spell of this episode in a like, I'm hurting internally. And I think it's like, just understanding the entire One-Eyed Jack's stuff going on and just everything going on is really sad and bad right now. And even Harold and like what Donna is doing, Shelley and Bobby being stupid. Like there's so much bad happening right now. So that's it for my general thoughts though. Do you have any other ones?
I just wanted to ask a question, but it's not going to come out as a very good question. Okay. So Gerard is the one-armed man shoes salesman.
Yes.
But also in the visions, we've seen him as Mike. So, like, is this one guy, is he both Mike? Like, I guess I don't understand.
You saw him be Mike in this last episode.
Yes, I know. Yeah. So I guess I don't understand. And, like, it seems like if he doesn't take whatever drugs he's trying to inject, then he goes full Mike.
You're on the right
correct?
trail. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, what was the third clue that the giant gave Cooper?
I know. We have that clue.
We'll get to it, yeah.
Yeah, without chemicals, he points. I don't know what points means necessarily, but without chemicals, basically he's going full Mike.
You were onto something. And then he started basically saying, like...
He said, Bob, I know you are here. I'm after you now. Mm-hmm. So I understand, like, we've kind of gotten these clues or maybe directly stated that, like, Mike and Bob are kind of, like, opposites in the what they are. Like, but I don't know what they are.
Great question. Yeah. We'll get there eventually.
I know. Okay, so I'm not, like, completely misunderstanding.
No, you're not at all.
Okay.
But yes, Gerard and Mike are the...
quote unquote the same from like what our understanding would be right now.
Correct.
Okay.
That's about as much as I can say.
Okay.
I'm
just checking.
All right, so let's get to Special Agent Cooper on the case. That's you here. What are we thinking?
Well, so normally I, as the first timer, list 3 moments I think will matter later. But today I did write down 4 because I have like such a question about this one thing. Okay, so first, the owls are not what they seem. We've obviously heard this quote many times before, but it's come back up. We've heard the log lady say it before, but it's come back up in the deep space monitors. The clue that Sheriff Briggs brings to Cooper.
Also, can we just say, I love that shit. She's like, you need to deliver the message or whatever, and then he goes.
But he knows what the message is already. It's very interesting because I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. But then he's like, oh, I know what you mean, log.
It's so good. It's just like everyone is so interesting in this town and like does kind of listen. And I love Margaret, so yeah, I love her log.
Trust in the log.
Trust in the log, always. And then Briggs goes to Cooper, and now you're like, oh my god, this was another big WTF moment for me.
I really loved when Cooper was like, why did you know this message was for me? And then he flips through and it's just Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is also very
great.
scary. This brings in a very cosmic horror element.
Yes,
Which it's like,
exactly.
this is maybe, we already knew Twin Peaks was a weird place and maybe isn't a normal place, a normal city within the United States. And now you're like, why is everything concentrated here? Like, what is going on? And now it's way bigger than we initially thought. The fact that deep space probes from Garland are saying Cooper's name and repeating things that his dream giant told him.
Yes. Yeah. It's very
And things
odd
that the log lady said, which
Yes.
now gives a lot of credence to the log.
I've always trusted.
You've always trusted the log?
And in a previous episode, the log was my most trusted character.
I get it.
The log,
it's just
not the
interesting
log
now.
lady, the log.
The log. But you feel she's set up as maybe like a weirdo initially, but it's like, no, like she's clearly in touch with something.
Yeah.
Like or her log.
Via
is
the
for both.
log. Yeah. But yeah, between all of that and then the fact that we also see Al's over Bob's face. There's so much Al content that we don't actually have the answers to. So obviously, Al's are not what they seem, will matter later in some way, shape, or form.
Just be wary of owls.
Yeah.
You're already scared of birds.
I'm already scared of birds. So
I love owls.
I don't need to be any more wary of owls. I'm already as wary as a person can be.
Do they fly completely silently?
That's horrifying. Actually, that's probably better for me because the sound of birds' wings
That's how they get their
scares
predators.
the shit out of
They
me.
have like a complete silent glide.
Fun fact, at a friend's wedding, there was
They had
an owl
owls.
there, and
2 owls.
there's a photo of me next to this fucking owl, and I look just deranged from how like worried I am to be near this creature. And I'm like holding like a drink, making like a really ugly face, trying to get closer to this owl to like get over a fear, and it's just not happening. Oh,
Well,
not
yeah,
the birds.
maybe you were right to have this fear based on this show.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right, next
My
one.
next moment, it's kind of like vague, but just in general, what we learned about Leland's relationship with Bob. Like, he has a relationship with Bob. He knew Bob from near his grandfather's summer house, and then we've obviously gotten more information since then between knowing, like, the name Robertson, and then also him saying that Bob would say, "You want to play with fire, little boy," which is something Laura had said to James the night that she went missing. All of that is really creepy and horrifying, so I know, obviously, that will turn out some more information later.
Yeah, and not to say too much, but you were asking, what is Bob? We now know that Leland has seen this man, 40 years ago?
Yeah.
Looking the same,
He looks
probably.
the same. And the man
And
already
we know
looks
that,
like 40, so it's like...
And then we have Laura repeating things, so it's like keeps adding to this presence.
Mystique.
Like, what is it?
Yeah, what is he?
Yeah, but just wanted to comment on that. So.
Yeah. Also, Audrey being drugged and their plot to kill her, is gonna keep coming back up. Horrifying, terrible.
It gives me, my hair stands up, like, thinking
I
about
have-
what she's going through right now. And I kind of forgot,
I
like,
have
she's
more
going
on that.
through it.
Yeah,
right now.
I have more on that
Okay.
throughout. And then lastly, Hank used to be a bookhouse boy. This is the least important of the 4, obviously, which is why I listed it last. But what the fuck happened to that guy? And I know we'll get there. Obviously, I also have that as one of my questions. It's just like, what the hell happened to this man that he went from like being one of the best of them? It's like what Truman says. Like, he's literally like this like good guy vigilante group to being a fucking criminal that's like murdering people and being a creepy snake all around town. The
Twin
stupid
Peaks is a
domino
weird place.
keychain.
I also, just speaking of the Bookhouse Boys, I don't think we ever really get a full answer on this, but on a rewatch, I'm thinking about the fact that, like, at first, like, this is a vigilante group, but it almost seems like when they bring it up that they know Twin Peaks is not an okay place and not a normal place, like maybe beyond the
Because, like,
physical
why else
realm.
would you have the
Yes.
need for this?
And it's
I
very
guess.
interesting because it's like clear that Sheriff Truman doesn't know anything, mystical or otherworldly is happening, yet they also have this group that clearly has been like put together, almost a secret society, like a Freemasons, has been put together to fight something like this that they don't know exists. It's this very interesting, like, did they subconsciously know that Twin Peaks is not normal and put this together? But just a thought. So I just something I never thought about in my first watch that I'm thinking about more on this one.
Yeah.
Because it's like, they know clearly this is just the life that they live. Yeah. So Twin Peaks is like a scary place.
Yeah.
You're starting to realize that.
Bro, I've been realized.
Yes. I do like to keep coming back to the whole idea, though, that this really is about how suburbs can be evil and how we pretend like no evil things can happen there. And I think it's very clear that Lynch like wanted to say that. And I keep just a thing. I know I've said it multiple
As
times.
someone who like lives in a city, and we've had friends who will be like, "Can I park there? Is that okay?" Like, will my car get broken into? And it's like, the city is no more dangerous than anywhere
There's
else.
just more people.
There's just more people.
And it's kind of the thing about the suburbs and the small towns is that the evil is completely hidden by everybody.
And
like,
I swear, like, much deeper evil things were happening in the suburbs we grew up in like, quote-unquote, nicer areas than anything that I experience here.
Yes.
Any evil in the city is out in the open. I think that's, like, part of the difference. It's like, you hear about it, because you're in a city, there's a ton of people. News focuses on cities because they want to spike fear in you. And we look at Twin Peaks, and it's not that uncommon that, you know, Ben is like a civil leader who is also a pedophile. Yeah.
And is like, no, and everyone kind of secretly knows that he's this evil person that's basically owns the town and is running a pedophile ring.
Well, speaking of Ben Horn, let's move on to our character vibe checks. So my first is Ben Horn, continuing to be at negative like 1 million out of 10. I hate that.
Will he ever
motherfucker.
get redemption?
He doesn't deserve redemption.
I know.
If they try and remotely give this man redemption after how evil he is, I will be mad. I also don't really see Lynch doing that. Like, this is a scathing, disgusting person, and Lynch knows that, and so much of his work is about, like, the evils done to women. I mean, this piece specifically with Laura, so I don't think that they would do that unless it's, like, very micro versions of it. But
I'm not going to say anything.
Okay, Ben Horn sucks. He's calling to report his kid missing, and I'm like, okay, that's the most we've seen him do anything mildly, like, appropriate as a parent or, like, a person. But he's like, I don't even know how long she's been gone, like, maybe 2 days, who gives a shit? And then he's talking with Cooper, and he's, like, basically implying he doesn't give a shit, and that Audrey's kind of a pain in his ass, so he doesn't super care. He's like, she's done it before. Why do you care about Audrey? Like, so shocked that a person would give a shit about his kid, who's like a literal FBI agent, so of course he would care about this missing person. He's just a despicable, disgusting person. And obviously he also owns and operates this like
brothel with underage girls
of underage
that are being
girls.
kidnapped now.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a sex trafficker. Like through and through.
Yes. Mr. Horn makes it his business to know all the girls. Disgusting.
Which now have learned that Laura did work here, which
she
means
went
that
at least once, but they kicked her out because she was on drugs.
But this means it's very likely that Ben raped her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and we heard earlier in the show he cared about Laura too.
Yeah, I know, disgusting. I also want to remind you that Ben has a disabled son, and I'm just thinking about how horribly this kid is also probably treated.
Yeah, we haven't gotten
any Johnny in a while.
Yeah, in a while. But that also is like a really disturbing layer here. Is like how big of a piece of shit this man is to. But yeah.
And again, he's a community leader.
Yeah.
Like that's clearly a very scathing critique from Lynch.
Yeah.
And like given the current state of our country, it's like we're learning that there are a lot of country leaders and community leaders that are involved in a massive pedophile ring and trafficking ring. And so it's like Lynch was not, I mean, and also a man connected to Hollywood would probably have a decent understanding of this and like is definitely making a statement here.
Yeah, yeah.
In the simplest way. All right, you got another one?
Madam Blackie, is that her name?
Yes.
Again, like negative a million.
I have heard too. I gave her an Epstein out of 10. That's all I wrote.
But yeah, she is.
I think I called her Ghislaine last time, and no, I mean, they're all a little bit Epstein.
She's literally chaining and drugging Audrey and planning to kill her.
Yep.
That woman is despicable. And so I feel like when you first meet her, you're like, she's shady, she's gross. But you're also kind of like, you don't know how much she has agency over everything because the Ben of it all. But now that we know she has enough agency that she is just choosing to be a piece of shit and very, very complicit in sex trafficking. So that's disgusting.
Just remember this was on cable TV.
I know. That's
so
like
awesome.
absolutely wild.
That's great. I mean, but it's a very real, very scary and gross version of
I
this
would say,
that
like,
is putting the mirror up to us.
I would say, too, like, modern day, Epstein files are being covered on, should be covered on every news station. So, I mean, what's the difference?
What's the difference? Yeah, this is just
This
the
is
icky
just the
one that we
fake
actually have to
version.
see
Yeah.
versus like pretend like it isn't happening.
It's just what a lot of people are doing now. My final character that I did a vibe check for was Harold,
Oh, me
our
too.
newest character. I gave him a 5 out of 10. He gives some creepy vibes. He has Laura's diary, and we don't know why. And when he sees, like, Donna looking at certain things in his house, like the facial expressions he's making is that, like, he's holding secrets and he's concerned about her looking at things.
I like this actor a lot.
So it's very shady, but then at the same time, like, he wanted a flower put on her grave. He has agoraphobia, and
He's kind of a precious being, as you would say.
Yeah, he is kind of a precious being. So I think there's a lot of complexity there that we've already gotten in the span of a single episode with him. So I don't know how much I like or trust him, but I think he's compelling TV.
Well, I gave him a out of 10.
Okay, so
I was on the
thing.
same page, yeah. And finally, you know I had to give my boy Albert a 10 out of 10.
I love that motherfucker. I love him.
He's such a good
He's
addition
so
to
funny.
have. Just to add him at the beginning of season 2 and be like, he's sticking around was great. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's because Miguel was just so good in season 1 that like we need to bring him back. And it just makes sense. Like he's there to investigate Cooper getting shot.
Yeah.
It's like he's got to be there because Cooper can't investigate. I guess he's not supposed to investigate his own
I
shooting.
mean, that's a conflict of interest for
Is
sure.
it? I guess so, yeah.
To investigate your own shooting.
Yeah. And yeah, phenomenal.
I love that dude.
All right. Well, who's your suspect of the week?
Bob, obviously. Do I like need to even elaborate on why it would be Bob? It's so obviously Bob. That guy's creepy as shit.
Sure. Yeah, I guess at this point. Yep.
And I mean, everything that we've gone over before. I mean, it clearly
But now
matches with things that Laura has said. It matches with things that Renette has seen and like the memories or flashbacks or whatnot that we've seen through her POV. The nails that are spelling out his name or part of his name seemingly. There was everything from last time. I think it's very clearly that he is a very significant part in her murder.
So I guess the question is, what is Bob?
Yes.
Is that our new
What is Bob?
suspect?
Or like, how is Bob?
How
Why
is
is Bob?
I like how is Bob. Yeah.
Yeah.
When is Bob?
The who, what, where, when, and why.
Yeah, of
and
Bob.
how. What's the Spy Kids song?
I have no idea.
You don't know what I'm
No.
talking about? It's like the Floop Network or whatever.
Oh.
There's that song. Who,
Floop is
what,
madman, help us,
where,
save
when,
us.
and why.
Oh yeah, maybe that one. I just know Floop is a madman, help us, save us. Floop is a madman, help us, save us. When they play it in
There's a
reverse.
Song and one of the sorry, on my soapbox about
Yep,
Spy
that's fine.
Kids without
All right.
information.
So
Anyway.
that's our Bob is our suspect of the week. Anyone
Yeah.
else that we're sus of?
For different reasons.
Jean Renault.
What the fuck?
Or Jean Renault. I keep saying Renault. Jean and Jacques.
Yeah, what the fuck?
He's
Where
got
the
two
fuck
dead
did this
brothers.
motherfucker come from?
Canada.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Is that the answer?
Duh, man. He's from Canada. French Canadian. No.
He's blaming Cooper for Jacques' death, but Cooper did set him up
Okay.
and brought him across.
Yeah. Not
Cooper did illegally extradite a man. Kind of. No, he didn't
Well,
illegally. He convinced
tricked
tricked him into, yeah. Love that for you, Coop.
yeah.
All right. That's fine. Let's go on to who are we trusting with our coffee this week.
Albert!
Wait, that's also who I wrote.
I needed to write Albert somewhere.
We're big Albert guys over here.
I
Let's be real.
love that motherfucker.
And like, we always say we like trust Coop and Truman, but Truman's got a little bit of conflict of interest with Josie right now.
Yeah.
Cooper's like been shot. And like, not that means he's not trustworthy, but like he's definitely
He's gone through
He's
some
also
shit.
he's also like fucked up. He hasn't found Audrey's note he hasn't figured out how to find her. He got the call from her.
Yeah.
So like
He's a
Cooper
little
obviously
out of
still
it.
trustworthy, but it's like he's not on his
game.
A game right now.
Yeah, so it's definitely Albert. He's getting shit done. Like, he found the little fibers outside Coop's door that he's sending to the lab to see if they get evidence for who shot him.
Yeah, he knows the height of the shooter.
Yeah.
He like does
He's a bad
so
bitch.
cool. Also, the letters he found were from Flesh World.
yeah, like he's getting the
Getting
job
shit
done.
Yeah.
I also just think he's so funny, and I wanted to go through a few of the things that made me laugh out loud that Albert said.
Okay.
Or in combination of Albert and someone else speaking. He said, "Has anyone seen Bob on Earth in the last few weeks?" Which is funny as shit. He was mocking the old man hotel staff that I was mocking in the previous episode.
Which now we know that the old man maybe was there and saw Cooper.
And he was definitely...
No, but remember at one point
We
we
were
were like,
like,
is that
oh, is
Cooper's
he
dream?
real?
Albert talked to him,
No,
but
Albert,
he remembers
he's
nothing.
real. Yeah, he remembers. He saw absolutely nothing wrong. And Albert... I forget what Albert called him.
Senile old man or something?
He didn't call him senile. He basically implied that he was like half dead or something.
Oh.
Like, the language that he used to describe this old man is like something that I essentially said on the last episode. The last episode I was saying, I
Decrepit
think
or-
I'm ageist because
Yeah.
of this old man. And Albert basically was saying similar things, so I was cracking up. I was like, he gets me. And then Albert saying, "I love you, Sheriff Truman." And then Coop says, "Albert's path is a strange and difficult one." I was cackling. I loved it so much.
That scene is amazing. Do you have any more? Because I do have that as one of my... that's my cherry pie moment.
Albert's monologue. It was very poetic.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. I wish I wrote down more than just "I love you, Sheriff Truman."
So, I mean, I'll get to it. This is a Lynch Mark Frost magic moment of, if you did not like Albert at this point, you now do. Because you now fully understand who Albert is and why he acts the way he does. In one scene, he completely endears himself to the audience by basically saying, like, I live in, like, ending violence. Like, I'm here to stop violence. And that he's like, I'm not going to hit you back. He basically is like, I'm a pacifist. He always says, I like to live my life in the shadows of Gandhi and King. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. And he's like, the only thing more powerful is love. I love you, Sheriff Truman. And it's like this amazing moment of pacifism, of like an actual legit badass pacifist, because sometimes I think pacifism is tough, but amazing here. And just shows you why this character is really complex. And like that they really give a shit about their job. And while they're a jerk, you know what he says to Truman beforehand? Truman's like, "What can I do to help?" He's like, "Try not to drag your knuckles when you walk."
That was funny
Which
as
is
shit.
a crazy insult. But it's like he's cynical and a jerk because he lives in such a world of death that he wants to prevent or solve. And I think that's beautiful. And Albert's an awesome character. And it also comes back to one of Lynch's biggest themes of the whole show and of his whole life and of all of his career, and is that, like, love is the most powerful tool we have. And I think we'll find later and throughout the show that another thesis of his is that hate is not the opposite of love, but empathy is apathy is the opposite
I knew what you meant.
of love. And I just loved it to, one, hit us with this theme that early, and it also comes from Albert and just like explains who
Coming
he
from
is.
Albert is...
It's a wonderful scene.
Unexpected,
And him
but
just
delightful.
like fixing his coat. Just,
Yeah.
"I love you, Sheriff Truman." And then
That
puts
was
his,
a
and the music swells. And he walks off screen. This is such a magical moment that if I showed it to anybody who hasn't seen the show, they'd be like, "What the hell
fuck?"
is this?"
That's my boy,
Yeah.
Albert.
That's my rant, though. I just think that amazing. You have any thoughts on what I said, or?
No, I think you put it well.
All right, cool.
I also did want to share that the other character I trust the most, I hinted at it earlier, it's the log.
The log, not Margaret.
Not Margaret, it's the log. The log knows.
The log knows.
Well, speaking of the log, our cherry pie moments, our coziest moments from the episodes. These episodes were not cozy.
I had that written down. I was like, I only have one cozy moment
it's
for
I
me.
love you,
And it was
Sheriff
I love you,
Truman.
Sheriff Truman.
Well, mine is Margaret saying, "My log has something to tell you," and Briggs saying, "I don't believe we've been introduced." I love that. It was so good.
This show. I'm sorry, I'm laughing like a
loved
maniac.
him because he is just being so like polite and respectful to this woman who kind of seems unhinged if you like don't know that the log is actually getting shit right. she otherwise just would seem crazy. And so the fact that he is just like very clearly treating this woman with respect and like a human should be treated is delightful. And I love the way he carries himself
Garland's
in
the
that
man.
conversation. Yeah.
Garland is, I mean, I told you early how much I liked him, and I didn't really appreciate him on my first watch through, but because I liked him later in the show, I paid attention to him more early, and he's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great moment.
It was a great moment.
I was saying mine was the I love you, Sheriff Truman. And I wanted to say about that, what you said, I don't think we've been introduced. These moments make me laugh out loud, but I'm not laughing at the show. It's not like, they're really corny.
I mean, I'm laughing at
and with
how delightful the writing is,
yes,
I guess.
But these moments are corny, but they have done so much pre-work with the show for me to like just fully buy in.
Yeah, it doesn't
to what
feel
they're saying.
silly.
It doesn't feel silly. Like it makes me laugh, but it's like this joy. This show brings me like a weird joy.
I think like you're having the emotional reaction that the writing wants you
yes, definitely.
to have.
It also is nice when it's juxtaposed with absolute trauma going on.
Well,
in
I
every
think
other
that's
scene.
what does make some of the like lighter-hearted or
sillier, the funny stuff, the
funnier
cozy stuff.
It does make it stand out, and that's I think why it's like a release to like actually chuckle out loud, because then the next scene is Bob crawling over a couch,
and you crawl into yourself. You
yeah. I did have another cherry pie moment is just like Cooper and his friendship with Truman, but I especially love the scene where Hank is in there and Cooper is just like making this really funny facial expression at Hank the whole time because he's clearly like, bruh, you are fucked having to deal with this guy. And like the second Hank leaves the room, he's like, so y'all were friends, right? Like, there's something just so delightful about how he interacts with Truman because they are just like in this little
they're boys.
Yeah, it's so precious.
And you also just Cooper looking at Hank with disgust just because he can read people so well that he just knows this is like a bad dude.
Yeah, his facial expressions throughout these episodes were incredible.
I forgot to shout out Kyle MacLachlan during my acting portion. He's great the whole show, which I am glad he's getting his flowers again now.
In a surprise to no one.
Kyle MacLachlan's good. He didn't act for a long time. I mean, where he didn't have big parts. Like Lynch knew though.
Fabulous in this.
Yep. I dropped something. I'm not cutting it out. Okay. That was the Black Lodge. It was the Owls. Something. Okay. Well.
No, it's just you being a doofus.
So, do you want to do a somewhere in between? I have one.
Didn't have any, but I also always forget that you do that.
I keep doing it. My somewhere in between, and I'm going to let you talk about it later, but it's Donna at Laura's grave.
Yeah.
Which is this very heartbreaking, it's a very bittersweet moment and shows Donna's love for her, but also how hurt she is and how sad she is she's gone. And it's just, I think, a really good scene overall. But again, you said you have stuff to say about it, so I don't want to...
had that under dying to discuss if it hadn't come up yet.
Well, then you
which
discuss
is our
it.
new bit that we're adding in pretty much after Cherry Pie and Black Lodge moments, for moments we haven't spoken about yet that we want to discuss on the mic, so we might as well talk about it now.
Sure.
I think that the grief narratives, especially surrounding Donna in this set of episodes, are really well done. I think you can see a lot about how Donna is coping with the situation in these episodes. I think beyond the grave sequence, just seeing how she is kind of changing and adapting with like her relationship with James and how she's comparing herself to her friend who's deceased in like what she feels like she needs to be in her relationship with James and who she can rely on in this moment of grief. But then I do think that the gravesite sequence is really well done because it does kind of show this varied reaction we have to losing someone. It's not gonna always just be, I'm sad, I miss you. There's like so many dynamic feelings that come up when you lose someone, especially when there are so many unresolved things that you never got to say or address with that person, which obviously this is a young person who was abruptly murdered. There wasn't time and space for Donna to have these conversations with Laura, nor would maybe she be brave enough to or able to. So I think having this moment where you can tell how much she loved her friend, but also how hurt she is by what has been happening because of her friend is just a really powerful moment. And I think I don't always love Donna, but I think this is a really great scene for her and a really great performance. And I do think these episodes make me enjoy her character more.
You and I'll tell the audience, we're both on the couch, like sniffling a little bit.
Yeah.
We were both like, don't look at me. I was gonna, and even you talking about it now, I feel like kind of the emotions of it. And something she says that I just need to say is, she said, while you were alive, we're solving your problems. And now that you're dead, we're still solving your problems.
Yeah.
And that is so sad because Donna's been so affected. But then I also think like this horrible thing has happened to Laura. And so it's like so sad that Donna I don't think she means that, you know, like,
Well,
Laura was in some bad shit and it wasn't exactly her fault.
But I do think it's fair. I wouldn't call it like full resentment, but I think having like touches of that is valid.
Yes, definitely.
And I don't think Donna means it in like a fuck you. I don't want to be wasting my time or energy on this. It's just like, it just is.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like an indictment or criticism
Good
of Laura
point.
necessarily.
It's just a really good scene.
It's just
That's
her
all.
coping with what's happening in her life right now. And I think it's even more like twisted and confusing to her because of her relationship with James and then this like concern that she has that this person who looks exactly like Laura is kind of stepped into this place that she has like an emotional relationship with James and maybe more. So I think there's a lot of feelings tied up in there, and I think I love nuanced grief depictions in my media, so
Hell yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot.
All right, well, that was my somewhere in between.
Okay.
So why don't you give us a Black Lodge moment?
So my most unsettling moments, I have many, so I narrowed it down to a few.
I wrote all of episode 3 as one of my...
Yeah, that's valid. Bob moment where Maddie sees Bob and he pops over the couch and the coffee table and whatever. We already discussed that. That is true hell horror.
We've had 2 true hell horror moments in the first episode of season 1 and then both Lynch directed, then episode 2 of season 2.
Yeah. Bob is one scary motherfucker. Also, Ronette's reaction to the sketch of Bob is really tough, painful, really well done. And then like the fact that it also kind of lends to like what is Bob, because the lights flash and like go out, and then when we get the light back on is when there's something on her nail and the
her
IV's been tampered with.
Yeah, so someone physically is doing something to her too, which is like we haven't seen Bob physically.
Yeah, so it's like, and like clearly no one would have, like they're in the room with just her, like they would see something if there were a physical presence to be seen.
There's only one person in the show that has said they've physically seen Bob, and that's Leland, but we haven't seen him see Bob.
Yeah, because it quote unquote happened a while ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, that moment though is just like really well done and scary. Also Audrey at One-Eyed Jack's, obviously.
I don't even like
All
thinking
of that,
about it.
all of it. She's literally being drugged. Horrifying. And I obviously what adds to how horrifying that is like it's a business owned and sex trafficking ring run by her father. Then there's the added element of the fact that like Cooper has the note, he just hasn't found it or read it. And I think that is
Her prayer didn't get to him.
Extremely tough.
Actually, her prayer did get to him through the giant. He just said, "You forgot something."
And Coop has not figured out what he forgot. And he didn't even bring that up in these episodes. So that's really, really tough. So I think there's like so many added elements that make that even more Black Lodge unsettling. And then finally, the way I wrote it is so unserious. I wrote Big Ed's wife coming back online.
Coming back online.
Rude fucking way of saying it. But Nadine kind of coming back to full consciousness, but not well.
She's got cheerleading tryouts.
She thinks she's in high school and going to cheerleading tryouts, and
also broke her through her handcuffs.
it was really scary and like alarming, and it's really tough. Like, I think part of what makes it so unsettling too is his facial expressions and his reaction. Like he's doing this nice thing, he's singing a song to her to try and like.
That was adorable.
It was so sweet, and then it's contrasted with her coming back to consciousness in a really like alarming way where she's like hurting him and then ripping through. She's like hulking out somehow. It's very confusing and stressful.
Remember she hulked out earlier? Remember when she broke her workout equipment at one point?
Oh, I forgot about that. How is this woman somehow the Hulk?
She's got a lot of adrenaline. That's what Doc Hayward said.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
I feel like really needs a lot more help than going home could provide. So I hope that she gets to be under medical care for much longer.
It's only one doctor in Twin Peaks.
Yeah, keep her there.
Okay, is that my Black Lodge? I said all of episode 3.
Yeah.
How much I'm here, and then Bob after the singing.
Which we already discussed.
All right, let's do our dying to discuss. You had one. I have 2 that I'll be quick.
I had multiple.
You had
we already
multiple?
talked about the grief narratives.
Yep.
I also just have Dr. Jacoby has a wife? The fuck? This man is married after all this shit?
Who even knows?
I'm so confused.
I never really trust anything he says,
That's
to be honest.
valid and fair. She's pretty though if she is his wife, so I guess good for you, but what the fuck? Also, James is a fucking moron. He's so tough.
He's so dumb.
Also,
that's I just
Bobby-
always love quoting Laura saying that.
Bobby's also kind of a moron in these episodes. He's real tough to deal with.
I have a
here.
note about Bobby, so.
What is your note about
Well,
Bobby?
it was part of my dying to discuss is that I think Bobby's a really interesting and complex character, and while he seems dumb, he is making this choice because he believes he's like growing up. That's what's kind of silly about this.
Because it's an objectively dumb
It's a
choice.
terrible decision, but in his head, his dad just gave him this speech about how things are going to work out for him, and he's like, it's time for me to grow up. Let's get this insurance money. Let's be together. I'll take care of you, like with Shelley, and like I'm going to be a man type thing.
But it is so misguided because like
so
it's not
misguided.
actually you taking care of her. It's you,
Yes.
committing insurance fraud.
Correct. Well, they're not actually. They're going to take care of Leo. That's the whole point. She's just not gonna. They won't get the fraud if Leo's committed a crime.
I know.
My point is,
so it's
while
still
what they're doing is really dumb, it's interesting that Bobby, as a complex character, this could be seen as him making a decision that is not childish, and he's been kind of childish throughout. But he's had these moments of he's had a lot of grieving going on and a lot of bad coping. And so while I think it's dumb, it's kind of an interesting read that you can have on it. Was my thought. And I think it just makes him a more complex character, and I'm going to try to enjoy it as that way instead of get mad at him. And do you have another dying to discuss moment?
No.
All right, I have 2 more. One, Maddie crying, doing the I'm nothing like her, I don't even know her, about Laura is amazing. And I think the introduction of Maddie is so cool because it just sends James and Donna's grief into overdrive because they want her to be this thing that she's not. They see her as a Laura stand-in because she looks like her, and she's not Laura.
No.
And now she's realizing they only see her as Laura and not as Maddie, and she's just Laura. And like she hasn't even been able to grieve properly because of that. And there's this amazing moment with her and Leland where she's crying, and it almost seems that he has like coped much more with Laura's death.
Yeah.
And he says some really like wonderful things to her. Is like, I know, like I wish we could go back to like before, obviously. And it's just interesting how Maddie has been pulled into all of this just because she looks like her. And I want to say Sheryl Lee, great. Really great performances. But yeah, just the I'm nothing like her and the delivery on that I really thought was wonderful. And then lastly, the haters of the Just You and I song can all pound sand. It's amazing. It is such a good scene.
I really like the vibe of the song. Like I've heard it before from you playing it, and like I'm vibing.
That's embarrassing.
We were listening to like
The
a
soundtrack,
playlist on Spotify. I was vibing. The issue that I have with it is that it's so clear that it's not James playing
Who
or
cares?
singing. And so I just kind of wish it was shot a little differently, that it was less obvious.
Fine.
Because I liked when it was showing Donna and Maddie.
Their reactions to them looking at each other
and
is so good, and him looking.
I
and
thought that was so well done. So then when it shoots back to fucking James poorly lip singing was so awkward, and like not strumming the way the song is strumming was like agonizing to me. But the song itself is it's like silly. Like, why are these people who are conducting like their own little murder
Because
investigation
they're high school
suddenly
kids.
just playing guitar?
That's what we're reminded. They're just
But
like high
it's-
school kids, and
yeah.
they're kind of silly, and like you're forgetting we don't see them go to school, but they are going to school, right?
Yeah.
And so it's this moment that shows a lot of emotion between the characters. There are people, I saw a review of this episode that says this is a black spot on an otherwise good episode.
No,
and I was
I don't
like,
agree.
no, like don't
The
watch
only
the show
black
then.
spot is the James wouldn't sing like that, and he's not singing clearly.
So overall, really amazing scene to show their relationship.
Really well
and
shot for the most part with the girls specifically, and then to contrast that with
the Bob
appearance of
scene,
Bob, is
Bob
really
happens right after, and it's
horrifying.
this amazing. And I don't think either scene hits as hard without them being right next to each other. I think it's genius filmmaking. I once again think Lynch is a genius. No surprise there. And just, like you said, they can all pound sand, kick rocks,
That's
whatever.
fair.
It's a good scene.
Kick rocks.
Okay, those were my dying to discuss. So now we're on to
Notes
Diane.
for Diane.
What do you have for Diane today?
Questions I am carrying forward. As the log lady said in the log lady intro, where does creamed corn fit into the makings of the universe? That's my
I did want to
question.
say about the log lady intros. Not everyone's going to be watching those. So funny for Lynch to go back. He did them in 93. We said after the whole show was done. But watching the log lady and being like, I don't know if I trust this woman. And then being like, we're going to have her start every episode saying the most cryptic shit possible is so funny. And I love it. So happy we have them. But yeah, where does cream corn fit into the...
Yeah, what's the deal with cream corn? She's got a point. She's made some good questions here. And then the scene later with the cream corn, I was like, the fuck is happening? So what's the deal with Coop's former partner that, quote, vanished in thin air from the psych facility?
Wyndham Earl. We are in an episode where they are laying threads if the show were to have gone on for multiple seasons. So that when the through line of Laura's murder would be done, there could
There's
be other
more
things to go
question.
with. So there's going to be more questions for you for sure. But that's just, we've laid a lot of groundwork these last two episodes for more branching stories and a slow, methodic burn of learning about your characters. Because when it comes down to it, this is about characters, this whole show. We want to think it's about solving a murder because that is the through line. But in reality, Lynch and Mark Frost clearly wanted this to be about characters and how they change and grow. So,
my next question, a fairly obvious one. Who shot Cooper? When will Cooper...
Albert's on the case.
Yes. When will Cooper remember or find the letter from Audrey?
A question we're all asking.
We're all asking. We're all begging.
Poor Audrey.
Begging Cooper to get it together and find this goddamn letter. I'm just hoping he, drops something on his bed and he's like, what? Did Andy know Lucy was seeing other people?
Clearly not. That's why he...
Seems like he didn't.
What a great reveal.
That's so interesting because, that kind of feels like something you
What a harlot.
established with someone that you're seeing. If we're seeing other people or if we're, exclusive. And clearly to her, they weren't exclusive. And to him, they were. I guess not clearly.
We didn't talk about Dick Tremaine at all. What a weird character. But she did say that they haven't seen each other for 6 weeks. The show's only been going on for a week. So maybe her and Andy started seeing each other after that.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows?
But I need some tea on that.
I don't know if you're going to get an answer to that one.
Oh, shit. Well, okay. Well, Jake Tremaine I almost did for my vibe. And I just ended up taking him out because I just thought the other characters that I had written down would be a more interesting discussion. But that guy's weird as shit.
Yeah, he is.
And would be a great Halloween costume. Continuing, I already mentioned this. What the fuck happened to Hank? That he has had this crazy life turnaround. What's the significance of Bob saying, you want to play with fire, little boy? We already have a lot of connections to him and fire, but, why? Fire, Bob, explain. My next question was, is Bobby a legitimate idiot with the insurance plan? We talked about that. I was just kind of being a jokester. How does the letter show up under their nails? Because it was really the lights went out, came back, we see a letter under her nail. What is a Bob? We've discussed this. Did Laura actually want Harold to get in touch with Donna? He says it. Did she actually? What was their relationship actually? Who's to say? Why does Harold have her diary? Is he supposed to have that?
That's probably going to be
Also,
answered soon.
what in the fuck? Because we already thought that Coop had the diary, so does she have two? Is this just missing pages? Question mark, question mark. And then without chemicals, he points. We kind of have a clue of what the chemicals are, but what is he points?
I think definitely hold
he
on to your
points
without chemicals he points question, but you should have been anyway because that was one of the three
course.
clues.
Yes.
All these other questions are fine. I don't know if any of them are big hold on.
No,
Maybe why does Harold have the diary would be one worth bringing over. Again, your questions are all good. They always are. It's more I'm thinking what's gonna...
Well, because some of them are so obvious that it's gonna come back in the next couple episodes. It's more just I'm making sure that I'm talking about them in the episode, so I want to write them down.
Let's go over your what lingering questions you have.
Does the specific letter under Laura's nail have significance?
Hey, we got an answer.
Have an answer.
We have an answer. It's, well, at least according to Cooper,
We-
it is spelling out Robert or Robertson. We're not
have-
really sure,
yeah.
which is short for Bob.
Bob. It's
So,
long for Bob. Bob is short
yes.
for that.
But why is Bob trying
Why
to
the
spell
fuck
his
would
name?
Bobby spell
There's your
his
new
own
question. Put it in
Yeah,
there.
let me put that.
This is a legit question. That,
Why is Bob spelling his own name?
that's it, Diane. There are letters under their girl's finger name. Or I can't even finger name. What am I saying? I can't even do improv. All right.
Okay.
Why would the serial killer
Write
write his own name under the victim's fingernails? All right.
Because he wants to be found somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
How long have Laura and her mother had dreams? Obviously, no answers yet. Why is the log lady so worried about owls? What does the giant mean by the owls are not what they seem? Obviously,
You should just put Al's question mark
we've
as your
talked
new
about
question.
that. I will.
Are you going to do that?
update
Al's
it,
question
say-
mark?
Yeah.
Why is there an owl over Bob's face in
Yeah.
dreams now?
So many owls. Is Lucy's baby Andy's? Seemingly, we have the answer. It is Dick Tremaine's.
We'll find out, won't we?
It's kind of.
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Then I won't. Legal consequences of Leland committing a murder.
He was just arrested.
He's just
so
arrested.
There's
So
another
at
question
least
answered.
An arrest.
Arrested.
I already had
without
without
chemical
chemical
yeah.
sequence, so that's funny. And then was Laura's body brought back to the house or harmed in the home in some way? Because we have seen, like in Maddie's vision, the stains on the carpet.
Hold on to that question.
Yes, of course. Okay, so
Those are all good. I like. We answered 2 questions that you've had, so good
Yippee!
job. It's been a while. The letters, that one I told you to hang on. That was like first episode.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was the
Spelling
first
his name.
episode.
But now again, why?
Yo, why the fuck would you spell your own name, dude?
All right.
You moron.
Let's rate these episodes.
Is he just planning to kill more people and spell it as a full name and be like, do some anagrams?
It's possible.
Have fun.
He's killed 3. Or, well, killed 2 and attempted
Yeah.
a 3rd.
Okay, we rating?
I'm rating, and it's really easy because these were both great episodes.
They're both damn fine cups of coffee for sure.
I said both was ludicrously damn fine cups. That was my notes.
Both was.
Both
it would
was.
be both were.
Yes.
Grammatically.
Yes, correct.
Both was.
I was going to say this run of 3 episodes
It's
really
so good.
actually more like run of from the pilot through this episode
It's really
is
good.
insane.
But especially at the end of the first season through here.
Yeah, so
like,
really 4-episode run.
balling out.
I'm pretty positive the run from the end of season 1 through like episode 7 or so of season 2 are all pretty incredible.
Woo!
So we'll see though, because I don't remember every little thing. But yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
What legendary TV run is happening right now.
Well, and we have a guest coming on for, I think, season 2, episode 9, who said that's one of their favorite
we
episodes
go.
of the show.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
It just keeps going.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah.
So, anything else? We good?
I think we're good.
Yeah, perfect. Well, we will see you guys next week with a fresh cup of coffee.
Thank you for listening to Welcome to Twin Peaks, a Twin Peaks rewatch podcast from Horror Hour with the Hannas. If you liked the episode, please make sure to give us a 5-star review on your favorite podcasting app. If you'd like to call into the show, call us at 215-821-9584. You can find us on the socials at Welcome to Twin Peaks Podcast on Instagram, or at our original account at Horror Hour Hannas on TikTok. Come back soon for more coop, coffee, and cream corn.